So did you guys hear what happened in the Gambia on Eid celebration? Hey! As you guys know, Muslims celebrate Eid on one of 2 days. You know, some people celebrated last Monday, others celebrated last Tuesday, but not in Gambia. Guess what? The president gave a very angry speech on the day that he observed the Eid prayers during a meeting with Muslims at the State House in Banjul.
Finally, I will also not allow people to divide Islam in the Gambia. Because also it is in the Quran. And we should not allow anyone to divide Islam or Muslims. Those who say they are waiting for, let me say that in Wolof.
Okay, stop it. The rest of the speech is in Wolof. That's why I have to stop it. But he basically said that no one would divide Muslims, you know. Therefore, anyone that doesn't celebrate Eid on the day that he is celebrating would not be allowed to celebrate the following day. You know, he told them in that video that any imam or any village head that disobeys would be jailed, that they will put them in prison. Policemen and paramilitary troops were patrolling everywhere the following day. They locked up mosques. Imams could not leave their houses because they kept their eyes on them. Everybody that had planned to celebrate Eid on the second day was not allowed to celebrate. He said he owns Gambia. No, he's not hiding it. He said it. If you understand Wolof, I beg, watch the full video. And that whoever refuses to pray on Monday would face the brunt of his power. Kai, you see what I'm saying? This is why it's not good to lie. Some people think that I'm lying when I talk about this Gambian president, how crazy he is. Is that right? Should you force the way you practice your own religion on other people? What happened to freedom of religion? This is what happens when someone has ruled for way too long. You know that he just celebrated his 20th year in power. 20. Let's take a look at some of the things that he did. Yes, in 20 years, he built a very beautiful arch, you know, at the Banjul airport in Gambia. It is very beautiful, you see. Jammeh also built the only university in the Gambia. Yes, you know they have one university. He built that university. Before he came, there was no university. That is very commendable. And then on top of that, he constructed roads. And even in many rural areas, you know, good roads. Again, that is very commendable. And he stopped sex tourism because there was a time that, you know, sex tourism was really booming in the Gambia. So he stopped this and he built a lot of hospitals. The man built hospitals. But, you know, the only problem is that there are no doctors and no medicines in the hospitals that he built, so people are still going abroad for treatment. Also, there are no good lecturers at the university which he built. People are complaining that there are no good lecturers. Oh, by the way, the arch is very pretty, right? But I heard that only his car and his wife's car, you know, the first lady's car, they're the only cars that are allowed to pass through the arch. Apparently the thing will collapse if everybody is passing through. I don't understand that. Anyway, so but in 20 years, are you kidding me? That's not even up to like 5 things in 20 years. Do you even need a year to do all that? No, this is not right. Do you guys know that when this man took over on July 25, 1994, he granted an interview to journalists in which he said that he led the military to take over because the former president was plundering the country's assets. Let me read some of what he said that day. He said, "We're going to institute a government that is composed mostly of civilians. What we want is for the nation's assets that have been plundered to be returned to the state for the benefit of all Gambians." And then the reporter asked him, so how soon should we expect a new government to be named, you know? And Jammeh said that we are not giving any timetable for elections. Let me put on my glasses. But that does not mean that we are here to stay too long. We don't want life presidency. We don't want a president that would rule for decades. Yes, bro, you said that the day you took over. That was 20 years ago. See how people change when they taste power? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So in case Mr. President is watching, you totally deceived your people. You took over convincing people that you have their best interest in mind. It's been 20 years now, Jammeh. What happened to your promise? So many innocent people have been killed by your administration. including students. Students who protested in broad daylight were shot and killed. Many journalists have been put in prison. Some journalists just disappeared after writing stories that the presidency doesn't like. Many chief justices have been in prison for years, including a Nigerian justice. You've not allowed any opposition party in the last 20 years. It's just been you and you alone. Anyone who speaks up against your government is immediately arrested. And to top it all, this president, Jammeh, has been accused of sleeping with young girls in exchange for scholarship to study abroad. You know, since there's only one university in the whole of Gambia. I know that there are only about 1.7 million people in Gambia, but still, one university, that's not enough. And now people can no longer practice religion the way they want. They have to pray the day that you pray. Meanwhile, you're cruising around in Rolls-Royce Phantom, two of them, each one costing about $500,000. You think people are not paying attention to this? That's not to talk about your other luxurious cars. Your net worth is said to be about $1.8 billion, and your madam keeps investing Gambian money in her country because you know she's not Gambian. You had a great opportunity to change things around when you came into power, and the former president wasn't doing well, but it's unfortunate that you are now the one plundering the wealth of Gambia. Seriously, Mr. Mane, it would be good for you to just step down right now, before Nemesis catches up to you, because you know, whether you like it or not, someday, Jammeh, justice will prevail in the Gambia. It's all a matter of time. But you guys know that I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.